So good, so good, so good.
Everything you want for summer is at Nordstrom Rack stores now and up to 60% off. Stock up and save on the brands you love like Vince, Sam Edelman, Frame, and Free People. Join the Nordy Club to unlock exclusive discounts, shop new arrivals first, and more. Plus, buy online and pick up at your favorite Rack store for free. Great brands, great prices. That's why you Rack.
So you're saying with Hilton Honors, I can use points for a free night stay anywhere?
Anywhere.
What about fancy places like the Canopy in Paris?
Yeah, Hilton Honors, baby.
Or relaxing sanctuaries like the Conrad in Tulum?
Hilton Honors, baby.
Ooh, what about the 5-star Waldorf Astoria in the Maldives?
Are you gonna do this for all 9,000 properties?
When you want points that can take you anywhere, anytime, it matters where you stay. Hilton, for the stay.
Study and play come together on a Windows 11 PC. And for a limited time, college students get the best of both worlds. Get the Unreal College Deal. Everything you need to study and play with select Windows 11 PCs. Eligible students get a year of Microsoft 365 Premium and a year of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate with a custom color Xbox wireless controller. Learn more at windows.com/student offer. While supplies last. Ends June 30th. Terms at aka.ms/collegepc.
Ready to soundtrack your summer? With Red Bull Summer All Day Play, you choose a playlist that fits your summer vibe the best. Are you a festival fanatic, a deep end DJ, a road dog, or a trail mixer? Just add a song to your chosen playlist and put your summer on track. Red Bull Summer All Day Play. Red Bull gives you wings. Visit redbull.com/brightsummer ahead to learn more. See you this summer.
When you need to build up your team to handle the growing chaos at work, use Indeed Sponsored Jobs. It gives your job post the boost it needs to be seen and helps reach people with the right skills, certifications, and more. Spend less time searching and more time actually interviewing candidates who check all your boxes. Listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. That's Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Need a hiring hero? This is a job for Indeed Sponsored Jobs.
I'm proud to announce that today's episode is brought to you by Gelt, which you'll hear about later on in the episode and in the show notes. Most investors spend decades learning how to build wealth. They learn how to increase income, buy businesses, invest in stocks, acquire real estate, and grow their net worth. But eventually, the question changes. It's no longer, how do I make more money or save more money? It's, how do I protect what I've already built? Because once you've accumulated meaningful wealth, the biggest risks aren't always obvious. Inflation, currency debasement, government policy, banking instability, geopolitical uncertainty, counterparty risk. And that's what today's conversation is really about. It's not about gold, it's not about silver, not about precious metals, but how sophisticated investors think about protecting wealth in a world where trust in institutions is increasingly being questioned. My guest today is David Beahm, President and CEO of Blanchard Company, one of the oldest precious metal firms in America. In this conversation, we're going to explore a deeper questions. Why do investors continue to allocate capital to gold after 1,000 years? And under what circumstances would gold no longer make sense at all? We'll also cover what is the strongest argument against owning gold, why have some of the world's greatest investors ignored gold, and what would convince you that gold is no longer necessary? Why do central banks keep buying gold if fiat currency works? And what event would need to occur for gold to dramatically outperform stocks? Whether you ultimately agree with gold investing or not, the framework David shares can help you think more clearly about risk, resilience, and wealth preservation. So let's dive in. Before we begin, quick disclaimer. Nothing in this episode should be considered investment advice. Results discussed have not been independently vetted. Any claims made by the guests have not been verified. The content is for educational purposes only. Views expressed by the guests do not reflect those of the host or this show. Welcome to the podcast. Today's guest is David Beahm from New Orleans. He is an executive with Blanchard Company over the last decade. He's been with the most largest and respected precious metals and rare coins dealer in the country. This is a sponsored episode about what's going on with gold, silver, precious metals. David, welcome. Introduce yourself.
David Beahm, I'm the president and CEO of Blanchard Company. We are the largest retailer of bullion and rare coins. We pioneered the industry. Our founder, back in the 70s, when gold was illegal to own by you and me, paid a pilot to fly over Nixon's inauguration with a banner that said, legalize gold. Once he was in office, he decided to make it legal for you and me to own gold. Blanchard Company was born shortly thereafter. We were there on day one. We're still here 51 years later.
The people that you deal with, what are they looking to achieve by buying either gold, bullion, or coins?
It's wealth protection and preservation. With everything that's going on in the world right now, we know that you need a safe, stable asset. And time again, throughout the years, gold and silver provide that for investors. But we have all kinds of different types of people that invest with us. People that are looking to pass wealth down from generation to generation. People that are looking to protect from inflation, macro events within our country or around the world. People want to have it just in case they need to dig it up in the backyard and go buy a loaf of bread with it. We have all types of investors, and we're just here to help.
A lot of people, if you turn on the news on CNBC, you hear these dealers selling rare gold coins, and the audience don't understand the difference between bullion and coins. Help people listening understand the difference.
The difference between a gold bullion coin or bar and a rare coin is the year it was minted and the scarcity of them. As I was mentioning Nixon a few minutes ago, in 1933, the United States confiscated all gold. Anything prior to 1933 was supposed to be turned into the government. You were paying cash for, but some people didn't. And some people shipped them to Europe. Some people kept them in the drawer. So those coins that may have had a mintage of 1 million, there may be 2 right now. And that's what we would consider a rare coin. A bullion item is something that's recently minted and fluctuate with the price of gold or the price of silver. So if you have a 1 ounce gold American Eagle, which is the most popular coin that we sell when people are looking for wealth protection and insurance, it's an ounce of gold. You can pick up the Wall Street Journal, turn on CNBC, and you can see what the value is based on the spot price. The other coins, they have other values on top of the actual metal content. It's scarcity, it's condition, stuff that you definitely want people to go into if you're looking for that kind of stuff. But you need to be careful of what you're trying to accomplish. Blanchard's been around for 50 years. We do not run commercials on CNBC. We do not run ads. People come to us because of our reputation. I would just encourage your listeners, viewers, that if they are interested in precious metals, just do a little bit of homework on the company that you're dealing with.
The reason why I asked that question, for investment grade purposes, what should people be focusing on if they're interested in gold and silver as precious metals, bullion or rare coins?
I think anybody new to the market should start with gold bullion and silver bullion. The 1 ounce gold American Eagle that was minted this year, the 1 ounce silver coin, a bar, a kilo bar, a 100 ounce bar, the 400 ounce bars that we see in the movies. I suggest that if they're looking for an insurance policy, if they're looking for wealth preservation, if they're looking to help protect their family, I would go with gold and silver bullion. Once you get into collecting, that's when you're talking about rare coins. They both have some financial benefits, but the true way to get into this marketplace is physical gold. And that's the real proxy for gold. You can buy a mining share, you can buy an ETF, you can buy a futures contract, but all those have counterparty risk. But we ship our product directly to our clients. The doorbell will ring and there'll be a box that you open up and you feel like Uncle Scrooge. You've got all this gold and silver in your hands, and it gives you that sense of power, that sense of confidence. And I've never had a client call me up and said, man, I did not have a smile on my face when I opened that up. I was grinning ear to ear. And the first thing I wanted to do is I wanted to show my wife, my kids, my neighbor, whatever, because of that feeling that you get when you open the box and take out that physical gold and silver.
Would it be safe to assume that rare coins fall into the area of people that collect and buy expensive fine art? Do rare coins fit into that category?
They do. One of the greatest aspects of coins is the romanticism of them, the design, who did it, what era was it, what did it represent at that particular time. There's certainly some financial value to it. Rare coins do fluctuate, and it is an alternative asset that does well when people feel wealthy, just like art and wine and watches. We've sold a coin to a client where the engraver, the person that produced the coin, was neighbors with George Washington on Cherry Street. So you have to think, this guy and President Washington played heads or tails with this coin you purchased. Those are the romantic stories that rare coins have, other than the financial benefit. They're really neat. People get into collecting them. They build sets. There's a sense of honor when you achieve that set, and you get to tell the story to everybody.
You mentioned American Eagles. What is the difference between holding 1 ounce of an American Eagle versus a Canadian maple leaf or a South African Krugerrand or gold coins from different countries?
they're all going to have 1 ounce of gold in them, which is what you're looking for. It doesn't really matter what the carat is. The maple's a 24 carat, the eagle's a 22 carat, but they all have 1 ounce of gold in it. It isn't like jewelry where you're worried about the carat. All you're worried about is how much gold is in that. So you can have a coin that's this big or this big, but as long as they have 1 ounce of gold in it, it's worth the same amount. There are some nuances. The prices are a little bit different, and sometimes it's supply and demand. Sometimes a Canadian maple may trade a little bit lower than a gold American eagle and a Krugerrand, but they're all going to be generally in the same range because they all have 1 ounce of gold. The difference is that with the United States coin, it's backed for its weight, content, and purity for the United States government. Sometimes that gives people confidence. Sometimes it doesn't. Just depends on who you are. But that's typically what we offer, especially people new to the marketplace. They understand it. It feels patriotic to own it. That would be the coin that I would choose. All you're looking for is how many ounces of gold and in what form, either coins or bars, and we do both.
For people that are distrustful of the American government, what types of gold should they be focusing on if they're worried about, for example, we wake up the next day and Trump says it's illegal to hold gold? What forms of gold would people be protected from this type of tyranny?
That's a good question. And I don't think that gold confiscation will ever happen again like it did in 1933. It depends on who you talk to, but people do say that pre-1933 coins would be exempt from confiscation because of the fact that they don't trade necessarily with the price of gold. There's other factors. So you may have 1 ounce of gold from a coin from the 1860s, but it may be worth $350,000. The same ounce of gold that was minted last year is worth $4,600. So if confiscation is a concern, it may be prudent to look at pre-1933, but I can't even imagine how logistically that would work on the federal government saying, we're going to confiscate everybody's gold. It seems far-fetched, but if that's a concern, we have a solution for you.
Bonjour, compadre. It's the
Priceline Negotiator.
How do I negotiate so many great travel deals? My greatest gadget, the Priceline app. It's got hotel deals, flight deals, rental car deals, all of those deals in a bundle. Deals, game day deals, concert trip deals. No one deals more deals than Priceline. Hold your horses, there's more. The app lets you filter hotels by neighborhood, vibe, star level, and amenities like pools and spas and beachfronts and... Wait, I'm not done. Stop cutting me off.
Priceline.
Growing a successful business has never been easy. But whether you're navigating a complex industry or trying to reinvent one, our breadth of banking experts are here to collaborate on market-proven solutions. At KeyBank, we're built to grow with your changing needs because we're not just here for the business you are now, we're here for the business you'll become. Reimagine business as usual. KeyBank opens doors. Learn more at key.com/B2B.
Trading at Schwab is now powered by Ameritrade, giving you even more specialized support than ever before. Like access to the trade desk, our team of passionate traders ready to tackle anything from the most complex trading questions to a simple strategy gut check. Need assistance? No problem. Get 24/7 professional answers and live help, and access support by phone, email, and in-platform chat. That's how Schwab is here for you, to help you trade brilliantly. Learn more at schwab.com/trading.
Experience a membership that backs your business journey with American Express Business Platinum. When you pay with membership rewards points for all or part of an eligible flight booked with a qualifying airline through Amex Travel, you can get 35% of those points back, up to 1 million points back per calendar year. American Express Business Platinum. There's nothing like it. Terms apply. Learn more at americanexpress.com/business-platinum.
You may think you know McDonald's drinks, but you don't know them like this. From fruity refreshers like the Strawberry Watermelon Refresher and the Mango Pineapple Refresher with popping boba, to crafted sodas like the Sprite Berry Blast with berry-flavored Sprite topped with cold foam. Who knew ice-cold drinks could be so fire? 6 all-new drinks are here. Try them all, now at McDonald's. Refreshers contain caffeine.
A quick question. Are you paying more in taxes than you should? Most high-earning physicians overpay by tens of thousands because their CPA only looks backwards, not forward. Gelt is different. Dedicated CPAs powered by AI that work year-round, not just at filing time. Tax strategy and proactive planning for practice owners, investors, and physicians with complex financial lives. Built specifically for professionals who want to keep more of what they earn. To find out more, check out joingelt.com. That's joingelt.com. Links are in the show notes below. Then the other question is, people will say, okay, you obviously talked about reputation of gold dealers being concerned about getting sold a fake or something grossly inflated. People are like, oh, just buy a gold ETF. What's the difference between physical gold and an ETF?
If you're in the physical market, you need to find somebody that's trustworthy and transparent, no question about it. If you want to get in and out of the market quickly, that's the way to go. And I'll be the first one to say that. Our clients are long-term holders, years, if not generations, that people hold this asset in their portfolio. The issue with ETFs is that you need to read the prospectus of each ETF. But you'll have to realize that as soon as you buy it, they're taking money off of that for marketing, for accounting, for insurance, for storage, for the C levels. Whereas gold, there are some related costs. You do have to protect it, secure it. I certainly advise paying for insurance, but because you actually have it yourself, there is zero counterparty risk that you would have to worry about with an ETF or a gold mining share. What if the mine collapsed? What if the CEO stole 2 million? They're far-fetched, but they could happen. That's when the counterparty risk comes out. And if you actually hold the gold in a sock drawer or in a bank vault, you have it and it's yours, and you do with it what you want. Gold gives you just a peace of mind. Pilots, when they're running missions, they carry small denomination gold with them because if they ever have to eject out of that plane, they've got to get to safety. Gold is a universal currency. So nobody wants $10,000 worth of dollars over in Europe or Asia or the Middle East, but they will certainly take your gold and get you to a safe zone. If that's what they're trying to accomplish, we can do that. But it's a universal currency, and no matter where you are in the world, you can exchange gold for whatever that currency is.
Curious to hear your thoughts on holding gold versus Bitcoin.
I hate to keep saying it, but you go right back to the counterparty risk. Bitcoin is a promise. It certainly has done very well for a lot of people, but we are of the mindset, if you don't hold it, do you really own it? I don't know the answer to that, but I do know that Bitcoin and gold investors, there's a lot of similarities. They're trying to get out of the normal financial systems of stocks and bonds and get into an asset. Bitcoin, I wish we all had the crystal ball and bought it 15 years ago, but gold is old fashioned. It's not that cool, but you know what it does do? It just offers that protection. And that's what our investors are looking for versus Bitcoin.
Talk about safe storage practices. If you hold the actual physical gold in your home, it can get stolen. Talk about the difference between holding it in a private vault or storage or in a safety deposit. What are the risks of doing those?
Typically, you're going to have a depository somewhere where people live, if they live in a big city. We have partnerships with depositories within the United States, but also outside the United States, because some people like to hold stuff out of the financial system. So you definitely want to not put it in your sock drawer or underneath the mattress, but a safety deposit box at either a bank or a depository. You can partner with us and store it there. And it's incredibly easy. They basically move the product from one side of the vault to the other. It's accessible 24/7 if for some reason you want to take physical delivery. And then it can be shipped anywhere in the world if you needed it shipped at a time in the future. So I would certainly recommend it's stored in some sort of depository and not at the house, but maybe somebody's got a safe room and they can put it behind that steel door.
I've heard stories of people, they dug a cement hole in their home. It's vaulted, protected against fire. You mentioned depository. What is the counterparty risk of putting into a depository? What's to prevent a rogue employee stealing from that? And what are some things you need to consider with safely storing your items in a depository?
Number one is you want to make sure the depository is insured. So you don't have to provide your own insurance policy and make sure that they're insured, number one. Number two is that if you partner with the partners that we do business with, it's inventoried monthly. In some cases, it's segregated, meaning that it's away from everybody else's. But as long as it's insured and you're dealing with somebody reputable, you won't have a problem whatsoever. You have more of a problem for it burning down than it getting stolen. These depositories have been in business for a long time. If they did anything nefarious, they wouldn't be in business anymore. We wouldn't be either recommending somebody like that.
What are typical fees going with a depository?
It's a nominal amount. It's less than 100 basis points. In some cases, a lot less. It gives you that peace of mind. It's inexpensive. You know that it's safe. You know it's secure. Most importantly, you know that it's insured. You're paying for it, but you're paying a lot less because of the amount that they're insuring. But they're not just insuring your investment. They've got a vault full, in some cases, multiple vaults full of other people's investments. It could be an institution, could be a central bank, could be another retail investor.
You're predominantly focused on gold, but if people are listening and they're like, oh, gold is too expensive, is silver an alternative or attractive option, or should you just focus
Definitely.
on gold?
What we try to do at Blanchard is we try to figure out what the goals are for each investor. In some cases, they're the same, but in some cases, they're not. And then we discuss the amount of money. We typically suggest between 5 and 15% of an overall portfolio. So we would never tell our clients, oh, liquidate everything and put it all into gold. We just want that small protection. And so we would recommend 5 to 10 to 15% or so. And that's enough to make sure that that's that warm blanket that you fall asleep in every night of knowing that you have gold in your depository.
For people that are concerned or worried about the fluctuations in silver, because a couple months ago it was like at 120, now it's at 70, how should they be viewing silver?
I think you look at silver, it's more of an industrial metal than gold is. So there are other factors outside of the investment demand that move silver up and down. A lot of our clients allocate dollars into both. Silver has had a nice run over the last year, as has gold. And I think both of them have some ceilings already built in. But if gold seems a little bit too high right now, then silver is the play. If you think that institutional demand, look at all these server farms for AI that they're building. All of it, silver's involved in all of that. We haven't even scratched the surface on the amount of demand that industry is going to need for silver. On top of the investment demand, the industrial demand in particular is going to be increasing a lot. We don't have the capabilities to run these AIs without more warehouses full of computers that actually contain silver.
How can people learn more from you and schedule a call with you and connect with you?
Go to our website, familiarize yourself with not only us, but the product. Once you're comfortable, we've got 35 brokers that can help figure out what the goals are and help your listeners invest in something that they may just never got comfortable enough to do it. And all we want to do is make it comfortable for the transaction. Once you talk to somebody, that's who you're going to talk to for a long time. We've got people here that have been here for over 30 years, and we've formed that relationship. There's a lot of people in our industry that are transactional. They do the transaction and that's it. We want to help and grow the relationship, not just monetarily, but to make sure that we've accomplished everything that the client's trying to accomplish. So check out our website and give us a ring, and then we can help from there.
Thank you so much, and I really enjoyed talking with you, and keep up the great work. Let's zoom out. If you're a physician, founder, or high-income professional, and you feel like you're working harder every year, but not structurally freer, you're not alone. The mistake isn't effort, it's architecture. This show exists to help you convert expertise into scalable leverage, faster and with fewer expensive missteps. Here's the diagnostic I mentioned before. If your income requires your constant presence, if your capital isn't compounding outside your profession, if your highest value talent is doing low value tasks, you don't have a growth problem, you have a leverage design problem. And if you want to fix it with clarity instead of guesswork, I offer a limited number of one-on-one leverage strategy sessions each month. We audit your income model, capital deployment, authority positioning, and structural bottlenecks, and design your highest return move. If you're serious about compressing years into months, the link to apply is below.
Security program on spreadsheets, new regulations piling up, and audit dread? It's time for Vanta. Vanta automates security and compliance, brings evidence into one place, and cuts audit prep by 82%. Less manual work, clearer visibility, faster deals, zero chaos. Call it compliance, or call it compliance. Get it? Join the 15,000 companies using Vanta to prove trust. Go to vanta.com/calm.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities. So do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today. I'm told it's super easy to do at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
At Blinds.com, it's not just about window treatments. It's about you, your style, your space, your way. Whether you DIY or want the pros to handle it all, you'll have the confidence of knowing it's done right. From free expert design help to our 100% satisfaction guarantee, everything we do is made to fit your life and your windows. Shop up to 40% off with minimum purchase and a free professional measure right now at Blinds.com. Plus, pay at your own pace starting at 0% APR with Affirm. Terms apply.